So there's this trend of financial minimalism going around on YouTube, and I really disagree with it a whole lot. Not in the reasons you think it would be, but how I want to explain this, I want to explain how I turned $6,000 into at least $20 million in the last decade-ish or so. And I think it will make my point. So way back when, 2011, end of 2012-ish, I was getting out of the Air Force, and I had no money, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really have a way to generate money either. And my dad had forced me early on to start this Roth IRA, I think that's how you pronounce that, and put away $200 a month, which was cataclysmic to me at the time. That being said, by the time I got out of the military, I had about $6,000 saved up, and I took it out of that account, and I had to eat some tax. My dad is Mr. Save financial minimalism. So this was almost the equivalent to taking off my pants in Catholic church and mooning the priest. It wasn't a popular choice in my family, is what I'm trying to say. And what I did with that $6,000 is I said, look, I'm just going to bet it on myself. I'm going to go and I'm going to give myself 6 months to start a business, and that's it. I'm going to see what happens. Now, very, very quickly, I need to address one thing you're probably thinking. Oh God, this guy is starting a late night infomercial, rag to riches. I was homeless in the street, eating underwear, and now I don't, and you can buy my magic course. No, if you're a beginner, if you're just starting on a business, I don't do business with people like you anymore, okay? I don't do business with beginners. I just tell you everything you need to know, so just relax. I'm not going to sell you some program in this video. So back on topic. I went out and I decided to play the Hunger Games instead of doing the financial minimalistic thing to do and slowly going and getting another job and stockpiling that money or something. And it was hell on earth. I was losing money left and right. I was making mistakes and I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. My rent was like $300 a month. I was even more minimalistic and woke than I am now. Wink, wink. But through that time period, those mistakes and that fear and that struggle turned me into a completely different person. Through that struggle, I had to find some way to make money. I learned how to do SEO. And through those mistakes, the constant mistakes that were spurred on by the constant fear and the struggle, I became very good at SEO. And I got very talented at ranking my own websites, businesses' websites, and through that, I was actually able to then go and land a job at an SEO agency with I had no marketing experience, I had no college degree. Combining all these together in a Captain Planet sort of way, I was able to reach about 10,000 to, on a good month, 20,000 a month. And now I know what you're thinking. Okay, time to go invest in rental properties and invest that. No, young Padawan, this recklessness, this reckless investment in myself had taken me from on the way to being homeless to being a person earning over 6 figures a year. I wasn't going to stop there, and I wasn't going to invest in some Roth IRA like everybody was telling me to do. So what did I do? Well, I went and doubled down on this, and I decided to go and create like a little SEO conglomerate where we would create SEO software, we'd sell SEO services, we'd sell SEO education, we would run all sorts of SEO ads, and I was reckless as hell with this. And you know what would happen? It was very hit and miss. I would constantly be putting my money on red and seeing what would happen, and there was a lot of mistakes. There was software projects that won. There were software projects where I got burned on. I even had a software project where the developer linked his PayPal into it and was stealing from me. So many mistakes, so many embarrassing ways to lose money that I would have never lost if I just put it in a safe rental property. There was launches I did that didn't work out. There were projects I started and didn't get finished because the staff and all the people I hired didn't work out. There were so many mistakes, so many struggles. But through all these struggles, the ups and downs, I was able to get this business to around $3 to $4 million a year in its peak. And this reckless investment in myself had again paid off immensely. I started with $6,000. I have never taken any investors. I've never gotten any outside money. And now I'm making in revenue absurd numbers and at least taking home $1 million a year in profit that I get to put into my pocket. And I'll be frank with you, this allowed me to buy Lamborghinis and cool stuff and party in all sorts of interesting ways. However, I kept taking most of the money and putting it into myself. I didn't go now and start buying homes or whatnot. And I said, what's the next step? How can I go and get even more crazy? And so I got really crazy. I started a supplement company. I started a Fiverr clone called Source Market that then later turned into Conquer. I also started an email marketing company all at the same time. This was idiotic. And one of the greatest mistakes I ever made was starting so many businesses all at the same time. But again, the mistakes made me stronger. The mistakes made me stronger because what you need to realize before I get into these stories and how I start failing a lot more, because you need to understand how a strong building is built. Whenever we are first built, we are this big, giant glass tower. And you know what happens if the tower never gets messed with, if nothing bad ever happens to the tower? well, it just hangs out like this for a long time, and then one thing hits the tower and the entire thing shatters. What you want to do is you want to build a glass tower in a hailstorm where it's constantly getting hit, constantly being messed with. You're constantly running into problems, fear, struggle, potential loss. And what happens every single time you get hit, every single time you get damaged, you get a little bit stronger, you get a little bit stronger. And that's how a strong thing evolves. If you ever look at how the human body works, it gets stronger when it sees a virus. The more viruses and the more diseases you catch, in theory, understand this isn't technically how health works, but the human body over time is a stress-tested beast. It's encountered every single type of bacteria, all the problems that are on planet Earth for millions of years. And what has happened because of that is it's resistant to all these things. It's a strong thing that can stand through so much. It can survive so much. You want to be like the cockroach. And the way the cockroach got to the point where it can survive a nuclear winter is it's been attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked and constantly under stress. And because of that, it has turned. Like, think about it. If making money is like breathing and existing on Earth, well, making money is really hard, but if you think about it, breathing and existing on Earth, that is a feat in itself. It's incredible. It's incredible. And the cockroach can not only do that with ease, it can do it with its head knocked off and missing 3 limbs and a nuclear bomb going off within 50 miles of it. It's no problem. It'll just keep going. That's the type of entrepreneur you want to be, that making money, existing is just your default. If you want to reach that level of competency, you can't be the boy in a bubble. You can't be a one version of Bug that's hiding out of the bubble and gets upset when someone posts a mean tweet online. You have to get out there like the cockroach and walk through fire and have your legs ripped off a few times and make those mistakes and go through that trial and error. And when you get to that point, you're capable of so much. You'll always be able to survive. You'll always be able to thrive. And you'll be fulfilled and you'll be a strong person. You will have evolved to the 10th degree. You will be a Charizard times 10. While this person right here who's still in Bulbasaur form is busy reinforcing his bubble. Get out of the bubble. Now look, we want to have goals a little bit cooler than becoming a cockroach. But what I'm trying to say here is if you don't take risk, if you don't open yourself up to mistakes, you are missing out on that chance to grow, because growth comes from mistakes and experience. And you won't be driven past those things. You won't be driven through those things if you're constantly playing the backup plan. So I went out there with all the money I had made from the SEO companies, and I made a supplement company. Totally failed. I think maybe I made my money back on that. Didn't do well at all. But I learned so much about hiring people. I learned so much about partnership. I learned so much about the marketing of supplement products. I went and made this Fiverr clone, Conquer. Total mess. Total mess. I learned so much about hiring developers, working with developers that I had already built upon from our SEO conglomerate, or I prefer to call it a hodgepodge. I had to deal with developers not showing up, having to go through 8 or 6 different developers to work on a project, all the mess that came with it, marketing a software, helping customers be happy. And they were extremely demanding, dealing with customer demands, customer support, all these things, all these skills were all over the place. And this company went up, it went down, and then it got acquired by ClickFunnels. It was a very weird journey. And then I made an email autoresponder as well, sunk millions of dollars in this. And then I had this up there. I'm like, this is the big plan. This is what's going to make me a bajillionaire. And it's going to launch and go to the moon. And then it launched and nobody bought it. And I was like, oh shit. I'm Alex damn Becker. Everyone should buy my thing. And I had all these developers. I'd taken all this risk and all this money into it. And I said, how do I make this work? And I reached a whole other level of myself from this. I had to go out there and learn how to write really good webinars to sell this product that really no one wanted to buy because everybody already had an autoresponder in the marketplace. I had to write these webinars. I had to get so good at Facebook and YouTube advertising. And I got better and better and better to the point that the company finally started working. And what I was able to do is I said, all right, cool. If I want to take this business to the next level, I've learned all these skills. I know exactly how the marketplace works now. What product can I make now? And that's really how we converted Market Hero into Hyros. It came from pain, fury, and suffering, and reckless investment in ourselves. And because of that, I now know exactly how to work with engineers. I know exactly how to run ads for software companies. I know a lot of things. And more importantly, through these skill sets I learned right here, I was able to fund this company without taking a single investor because I created another company called HCOM, which was a cash flow company with 2 of my buddies. And we were able to combine with Hyros and HCOM together, go over and build well over 8 figures a year in revenue. Okay, and if you want to see some of the tactics I used to grow that, it was actually almost completely through YouTube ads, which I discovered through pain and fury. Everybody was stuck on Facebook ads, and I said, I have to get out of that. And if you want to see how I did that, this is only for entrepreneurs who are doing at least $10,000 a month. If you're a beginner, please keep listening. This has nothing to do with you. But if you go below this video in the description, there's a link that breaks down all the strategies we use to do that. And we can even help you pull it off. But getting back on subject, I was able to build this company past 8 figures a year. And this allowed me to then go and fund Hyros completely stress-free and focus on the product first. And now Hyros is doing pretty well. And so at this point in the time, I have my dream company and I have zero debt and I'm a multimillionaire and I'm able to generate money fairly easily. I would never have the skill or the experience to know how to live and operate in this way, to be able to make money easily, to understand really how to master my finances, and to know truly what makes me happy and what doesn't make me happy. That's why I live so minimalistically. I don't even have a car. I don't have furniture, because I know from experience what makes me happy, because I've been there. I've gone through the pressure points. And to understand how to actually build big companies and how to go out there and do really hard things if I hadn't recklessly invested in myself. The best investment you can ever make is investing in yourself, because when you go into that bet, one, you're going to do anything to make that investment pay off 10 times over. But two, all the mistakes, all the struggles, that's the payoff for the investment. You will never buy anything in your life that will make you happy, but you will learn things and you will grow, and that will make you fulfilled. The only thing you can gain if you are going out there and playing it safe, investing in rental properties and all the stuff that people are preaching right now on YouTube, I'm not saying it's wrong, but the only thing you're going to gain is money. And that's it. Subscribe.